into another dimension or something. Because I shit you not, over there, I can see these giant silver, like those metal power lines, like a very specific metal power line, like giant ones, like the outlines of them with the wires. I can clearly see that there's these power lines that aren't actually even there in real life, but I can clearly see them. Like over there, I think I can. What the fuck? Am I actually seeing into another dimension? Or is my mind just, why would it make that up? If this completely isn't real? Like, how could I be seeing something that's like very specific of a hallucination? Yeah, going all the way back. I don't even know if the camera can see my finger pointing. This thing doesn't pick up like light, dark worth of shit. Piece of fuck. But I so badly wish that I could have the camera see, like if I could record what I'm seeing. Because what I'm seeing isn't there in this dimension, but it is clearly there. Giant fucking power lines. They go off into the distance, like the power lines go like off over the hill with the cables like all the way off to like the horizon. What in the fuck? This is the kind of shit. This is why I love acid. Which really does make me wonder, am I actually seeing into another dimension? Or is my brain just able to completely make shit up that isn't real just out of, like, completely... Why? If it isn't real in any dimension or anything, why? Power lines, specifically. It's like a very specific thing for something that is just a hallucination. I don't know which would be more astonishing. Both of them are in their own way. If I can actually see into another dimension, and there are these giant power lines that go off in that direction in it, but for whatever reason, that's the only thing I can see from that dimension. The fucking power lines and the wires. Or is this not anywhere in any dimension, but somehow my mind is able to see it? Like it's just making that up completely out of nowhere. And if it can, why that? And if it can be something that's that, I mean, if your mind can do that, then what's to say that, like, everything that you see in day-to-day life isn't, like, you know, the same kind of phony business that, like, it's really actually not real? Holy shit. This actually makes me question if life is actually even real. Because if it's the second thing, and I'm just seeing something, my mind just making that up, and it's not even anywhere in any dimension ever, then your mind can and might create like the whole entire like framework of reality, and you're just like completely unaware of it. It's like we're on a frequency or something. I'm like half, like if it were a radio frequency, I'm like 90% in this dimension, 10% clicked over into another one where I can like see the cross mesh between our dimension and this other one. Kind of like if you put in a NES game into the cartridge, but it's like shorted out and you can still see the code in the game while you're like playing it. It's like you can play Nintendo games that are like not all the way in there, like with the original NES, and the game's like screwed up. You can still play it and see the code in the game while you're playing it. Oh, this is that. LSD is, quite honestly, the most astonishingly like bizarre and wonderful, even more so than DMT, I would say. LSD is like the true holy shit experience. Like the stuff that gets like encoded onto the hard disk, across time rippling across lives into other dimensions of other yous. You know how I know that? Is because when I was a kid, long before I'd ever even taken acid, I remember I used to stare at the ceiling, very specific things, and start tripping out exactly like I'm on acid as a kid before I'd ever even taken it. And I even got some of my friends to lay there and look like at the ceiling, or just sitting there staring at the floor when I was taking a shit. I remember that as a kid. I'd just stare at the tile and I'd start tripping. And just if I zone out and stare at something, which is something you can do if you've tripped really hard and you're looking at something specific and you're paying close attention to what you're seeing, with acid you can actually like clearly remember what you were seeing, and like that's why flashbacks are attributed to acid. It's because your memory is so good of what happened that it can like recreate what it was seeing. But that's besides the point. The point is that my brain knew before I'd ever even taken acid. Like there is only one future I had where I did acid, because me in the future of this life sended ripples into the past far enough for me to be able to have acid flashbacks as a kid before I'd ever even taken it. And I didn't realize that's what I was seeing as a kid until I took acid. And then I thought about it. I'm like, whoa, I was actually tripping acid by staring at things that can cause like flashbacks. Like you can actually cause a flashback if you pay close attention to what you were seeing while you're on acid, and then think of that thing while you're sober and look at like a similar thing that you were looking at while you're on acid. It'll cause you to start seeing, like start tripping again. You can summon acid flashbacks. And that's what I used to do as a kid. I just would lay at the ceiling and be like, this is fucking weird. How is it that my friends aren't seeing this? And it makes me wonder, like when Agent Smith throws the cookies at the wall in the Matrix, and he's like, did you see it coming, that when he's trying to throw the Oracle off? And that's an interesting thing, that he was trying to see if there's any other way that reality could play out than the way that it does. And it only appears that there's other ways that it could play out. Or is it really that there's millions of ways that it can turn out, like the many worlds interpretation, where every second branches off into another dimension of outcomes, where everything possible happens in every timeline. And the weird thing is that I'm pretty sure that there is only one way things can happen, because it apparently was set in the future that my brain knows what it's like to trip acid before I took it as a kid. So acid, when tripping acid can affect, at least in this life, it can ripple like the effects across timelines. And if it can do that just within the lifespan, I wonder if me tripping acid in this dimension, if it can ripple into other dimensions, not just this one, and affect me in those like adjacent dimensions where it only appears that things could have happened any other way than the way that they did, but really that's the only way they could have ever happened, is that one way. So what do they call that? It's no free will. I've seen evidence that there is only the one way. And I think there's been other things that have caused me to like realize that, but it was acid that made me realize, holy shit. Me tripping acid in the future when I was a kid affected what I was able to see when I was a kid. That's how I know that the LSD and DMT, LSD is the only one where you have like clear memory of what happened, like really clear memory, even better than your normal memory is. Shrooms and ayahuasca and DMT all have the same problem, where it's like, it's amazing and shit, but you can't remember the experiences. They don't get encoded onto the hard disk of your, I think your memories and like your experiences, everything is encoded onto some sort of universe fabric where it's like registered somewhere that the existence happened the way that it did, and the only way that it could, even though it, like, you know, despite it appearing to have had the chance that it could have played out any other way than the one that it did. But no, it only appears that way. Even if Agent Smith's throwing the cookies at the wall trying to throw a sidebender, no matter what, whatever happens was going to happen to begin with. There is no changing anything. It just only appears that there is. That is fucking weird. Because I would think it would be the other way around. I would think that reality is made up right then on the spot. And there are like infinite numbers of ways things could play out. I would think that, but I've seen evidence otherwise. And yeah, that is just like, I can't fucking believe I'm seeing this. Giant metal power lines. And the wires. Clear as day. That aren't real. It's fucking fascinating.